Hi, everyone. Welcome to another PI Pop In with Attorney Farrell and Attorney Hall. Today we're going to be talking about pedestrian accidents. A lot of times when we hear, whether it's on the radio or we see billboards for like car accidents, injuries, people don't necessarily think about an accident where one of you are not in a car. Great. And so today we're going to be talking about pedestrian accidents and sharing with you how that is in fact a part of personal injury law, how it is in fact a auto accident, even though you're not in the car. We're going to talk about how you can protect yourself and give you some examples of those cases just so you're aware when you see it. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Attorney Joy Farrell. I'm the managing partner here at Fairell Roy and Associates. I manage and oversee the firm. Attorney Hall oversees our personal injury department. She's been in the game over a decade. I'll let her introduce herself and then we'll get right into our content.
Can I introduce myself today with a wave? Attorney Farrell hates that I do that for you guys that are joining us for the first time.
Did you guys
So,
wave back? Did you say hey?
yeah, I don't know. Have you guys seen that Kevin Hart thing? He's like, oh, I never know what to do with my hands. And so that's just kind of the thing when you say hello on camera, you just kind of want to wave. So, I don't know if that's camera etiquette or not, but that's what I do. So I'm attorney Kimberly Hall. I am the attorney here in the personal injury department for Fairell Roy Associates. As attorney Farrell has already said, I've been in this for a decade, which is so crazy to like even say out loud. That I've been doing it 10 years as an attorney and 3 years as a paralegal previous to that. So a lot of experience here, a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, which is why we're bringing this information to you. And that is because a lot of times, you guys are hearing the commercials, you're seeing the MARTA buses, you're hearing the commercials on the radio and seeing it on the television. And we just want to make sure that you have the correct information, that the facts are brought to you and that you really know what to do and not, are persuaded by jingles, but that you are persuaded with the information, the facts, and the knowledge that equip you to make the best decision. And of course, the best decision is us here at Fairell Roy and Associates. And so, as Attorney Farrell says, we are running across the bottom of your screen. So take a moment to screenshot this, take a minute to save us in your phone. Don't wait until you need us and you're trying to track us down. I think I heard Attorney Farrell say on another live that you'll be saying, wait, is it Pretty Black Lawyers or the Black Women, the Roy? What's the name of the firm? So go ahead, put this in your phone or screenshot this right now. So if you ever need us, you know exactly how to find us. And we don't want you wasting time looking for us or making a mistake and calling another law firm. So go ahead and take a moment, put that information in your phone, and we are going to get started.
Yep, and as you research your law firms, the platform I stand for Fairell Roy and Associates is knowledge based. We are the experts in what we do, and if you look at everything that we put out there, we're never trying to put out something to bribe you to get you to come over. Never telling you, hey, we're going to give you this if you call us. We're never saying we're going to give you an advance pay if you come. If you look at every single thing I've ever put out there, it is knowledge based. It is giving you free information because we want you to know, because knowledge is power. If you look at some of the other firms, they're just trying to sell you like, hey, we got this client X amount of dollars, you should hire us. Hey, we got this person, da 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 da. Hey, we'll give you this if you hire us. That look for people who are knowledgeable, look for people who have character, who have morals, who are based in the law when they do things as you do your research. And I think you'll find very easily that we stand out from the crowd with that. And so let's get into pedestrian accidents. And so pedestrian is one of those weird words. We've all heard it. Sometimes it's like, wait, pedestrian walk, whatever, like that's where the word comes from. So you say, what is a pedestrian? In fact, we're all pedestrians at some point every single day, just about.
Right.
Anytime you're walking outside, you're pretty much a pedestrian. And in fact, it's like we've had some accidents where cars run into the house.
Yes.
Anytime you're not in a vehicle, whether you're walking, whether you're on a bicycle, um, a scooter, can would you say those rental scooters in the city are those pedestrian or do they call those?
Yes. Yes. Pedestrian.
Yeah, those are dangerous, guys. Don't do them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They cute fun, but don't do.
Those are a series of lawsuits waiting to happen. I'm not really sure. Depending on when you're watching this, we are currently in the COVID pandemic, so I don't know how many scooters are out there now in the city of Atlanta. But I mean, I truly believe that there are going to be some lawsuits coming, from those scooters
Yeah, because there's like
here.
literally no requirement to use them. There's no showing
Right, right.
you don't have to
It,
wear a helmet.
it I mean, I speak kind of prematurely because I don't know a lot of the law yet when it comes to those because it's so new here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of at this point like ride at your own risk, right? You really, you have to be careful because there's so many things that come into play, like holes in the sidewalk, potholes, manhole, like those kind of things. Outside of being hit by the car.
You in the cabin Fulton, man, you got potholes galore.
I mean, you have to be careful. I mean, and the other thing too, right, is we're gonna talk about this in a minute here, but people the the AirPods, the earphones in your ears, and you can't hear what's going on around you. I've seen people riding those things and they're scrolling. It's so many dangerous things that come with the scooters. Skateboards, bicycles, just so many different
Rollerblading,
things. What'd you
um,
say?
the rollerblading, skates, all those
Oh
things
yeah.
put you in pedestrian zone. So about 7,000 people a year are killed from pedestrian accidents, meaning they're colliding directly with some type of a vehicle is colliding with them in some way or another. So it's not something unheard of. I mean, 7,000 may not be a lot in the grand scheme of the United States population. I think in Georgia, the numbers were kind of high in Georgia when I looked. I want to say it was like 2,000 or something over between 2018 and 2019. When we live in Atlanta, where we have a lot of pedestrian traffic, people are
Right.
commuting to work or, going from, they're just walking to lunch on their lunch break, especially pre COVID. We had a lot more foot traffic running through the city. Um, but surprisingly, statistically, this stuff is more prone to happen not in the city, but in the suburban areas. Because I know, I'll be honest, I've been driving down my neighborhood a time or two, and you get used to driving the streets, so you just kind of cruising along, maybe, getting your song together, and then you look up
And
and
there's a
there's a
pedestrian.
jogger or there's
Yep.
a woman in a stroller, or there, somebody walking their dog and they're like way too close to the street, or they're in the street, or they're crossing the street, and it's like, whoa, like what are you doing? What are you doing here? So it happens more often than not in our neighborhoods, right down the street from us. So don't think you're safe from it just because you don't live in the city or you're not one of those people that works in the big buildings and doing all that during the day. And so the first thing we're going to talk about is how you can protect yourself. And it's important that we talk about this. Do you hear that beeping noise, Kim?
I do hear the feedback.
I know what that is.
Not sure where it's coming from.
Turn my volume down a little bit. We want you to protect yourself because there's liability issues here. Like you can get hit by a whole car and be completely at fault. Okay, you can get hit by a whole car, a whole bus, and it be your fault. Okay, so you don't get to jump in front of a bus or do something
Correct.
to get you hit by a bus and then think the bus is about to pay you, even if the bus kills you. Okay. So let's kind of talk about some things that you need to be aware of because you're going to carry responsibility if there's responsibility to be carried in these accidents.
Yeah, so the one that and we'll start with night. time, which is, definitely not wearing dark clothing. If you are a walker or a runner, um, it is super important that you have the protective gear on. And that is, the flat, they make the
The
highlight
reflective
straps.
there. Hmm.
Right, the reflective gear. Thank you. The reflective gear. I see over here where I live, people walk all times of the day and night over here. They have the
Yeah,
stuff I didn't even know existed. They have the
I saw that
flashlights
yesterday. Yeah.
on the front and the back so you can see them. I've seen those cross bodies and they light up, they flicker
Hmm.
while they're walking. Of course, shoes now, they have reflectors on them. So those things protect you. Another thing is walking in the direction of traffic. Um, Not in the traffic, the direction of the traffic. And that
Right.
is because you can see if a car is speeding, you can come out of the way, or if they're about to jump the curb, you have time to get out of the way. So those are things you can do. Not walking across the street with your AirPods or your earphones in your ear. Definitely not being distracted with your cell phone. And it's so easy to do. And we've all done it. Don't, this isn't a dig at anybody. Like, we all do it. I've caught myself walking in the store, about to bump into somebody because I'm looking at my phone. And those things are very dangerous, when you are in the street. So it's so important, and we do it, so it's second nature, really. And I see it
You
all the
don't even have to look
time
at.
with people walking.
Yeah, you don't even have anything to look at, but just out of habit, you look down at your phone. And there was a whole campaign on it maybe a year or two ago on the commercials. I think even in the Super Bowl, like, you have these accidents while you're walking, you're bumping into people, you stepping into manholes, tripping on potholes because we're so into our phone. It's almost just like texting and driving, especially if you're in a busy area. You need to have your eyes up. You need to be looking around. And, I say this all the time to my husband about defensive driving. You got to be
It's
defensively
important.
walking too, because um, the assumption and the hope is that, hey, there's a street and there's lanes and there's a sidewalk. And so our goal and our hope is that you, driver, will stay on that street and maintain lane, and everything will be well. But if that were the case, there we wouldn't be in business, right? Because it doesn't happen.
Right.
But you want to be almost defensively walking. You want to like have your eyes on the road, like what's coming down. Is somebody looking like they, swerving in and out of lanes? Can you tell they're texting? Have they had a medical emergency and like they're
Right.
slowing down, or they're like kind of veering over? These are things that you can see if you were looking up and you say, whoa, and you back up or you move or you run this way, or, you get out of the way. I think we've all seen the Facebook videos of the street cams that catch a car running onto the sidewalk and just running over
Yes.
everybody, whether it was intentional or an accident. You want to be that person who was looking and got an opportunity to
Get
jump
out
out.
the way.
And so, keep those eyes up, pay attention, take the ear pods out. Um, I know, Kim. I know you love your earpods. Everybody do. I'm not a fan of earpods. I mean, if I wear my earpiece, I always wear one. I never wear
I
two.
know. Yeah, and
I
it's a
need
good
to
point. I actually don't wear mine at the same time. And now they have noise cancellation ones. For
Mhm.
Apple, they have noise cancellation ones, and I think they're fine when you're in the gym.
Yeah.
I think they're fine if you're at home working or you cleaning up at home. But I think they're very dangerous when you're out, with so many other distractions, right? Or other people being distracted as well. So it's I'm with you. I only wear one AirPod,
I only
and I don't
wear
wear them at all when I'm driving.
Right. I don't wear mine when I'm driving. Um, and if I'm exercising, honestly, I guess I'm the person to get on people's nerves. Like if I'm in the street or whatever, like public, I'll just play my phone. Like I have a phone holder. I'll just have my phone on volume. I'm running down the street. Like y'all be okay when I pass by. I won't even put it in my ear. Not just for vehicle safety, but for rapist safety too. I got to hear who coming up on me, who's behind me. I need my ears fully open and alert.
Did
So
you say for rapists?
Yeah, rapists and dogs and coyotes and everything. I need to be
I
able to hear.
got you. I got you.
So I rarely will put my earphones in, even when I'm at home. You know, like I get like when you're cleaning, but I always got a kid to listen out for. I always got to listen. Like especially at night. My husband will sleep with both of his things in his ear, listening to like a sermon or something. Like,
Really?
how you gonna hear a robber when you got your earphones in? You can't. Like, I be trying to hear what's going on. So, anyway, if you're walking down the street, do us a favor, just take one out, okay, at a minimum, so you can hear. Somebody may be blowing a horn at you, trying to
Right.
alert you. You
Right.
can't even hear. It could be a collision. Sometimes, a lot of these street accidents are multi-car collisions when they happen, and you could have heard it happening 6 cars back, but you didn't.
That's
Even when
very
you're waiting at the
awesome.
bus stop, because those little things get hit too. You waiting at the bus stop, you're not paying attention. Be alert, watch your surroundings,
Absolutely.
wear your reflectors. Also follow street signs. So if it's an intersection and you're supposed to press it, and you're supposed to walk when the little thing going across, you need to do that, because if you're walking across that thing and you're jaywalking or crossing at the wrong time, nobody's responsible for running you over at this
Right. It
point.
can definitely reduce. Yeah, it can definitely reduce your chance of any recovery.
Mhm.
Or definitely reduce your chance for the amount of recovery because you hold some level of responsibility in causing your injury.
A lot of it, really, because if it's a green light and you're not supposed to be in the highway, me as a driver, I am authorized to be driving at 55 miles per hour. I mean, am I not?
Your word choice. I love it.
Yes,
Authorized. I love
authorized.
it.
So, y'all be careful with that. So, Attorney Hall's going to talk about some examples of pedestrian injuries, because we had some unique cases along the way.
Yeah, so pedestrians, I mean, we think about it, hey, this person was at the, in the crosswalk. Um, yeah, sometimes, right? But as Attorney Farrell said earlier, I know, like I was just telling you guys here, hey, people walk in my neighborhood all the time, all day long, and we get so comfortable with our natural surroundings, we really start driving subconsciously. And so there are people where there is technically no crosswalk, right? But you're trying to come in and out of your subdivision and people are crossing. So those people are pedestrians. They get hit. And in that kind of situation, you as the driver are 100% responsible to make sure that you have clearance before you pull out. In places where there may not be a crosswalk. So that is 100% on you. People that are on bicycles, and I just read this article a few weeks ago in the city of Dunwoody. Oh, they are 100% strict about people bicycling. If you see a cyclist, you have to get over, and if that means to cross the other lane safely, of course, you have to cross the lane to go around the people on a bike. So
I think they got police officers on bicycles in Dunwoody.
oh yeah, they don't play over there. So it's 100% again on you as the driver because those people on a bike, they are pedestrians. And again, they don't have any protection. They fall off a bike. That's it.
I know that.
So
I'd be frustrated when the bikers be all in the road.
oh yeah.
Like, you need to get out of the way.
Yeah. And the thing is like they're a lane of traffic. So even if they're cycling slow to get up that hill, like you gotta go slow behind them, because you're not supposed to actually drive past them to pass, like you're supposed to get over safely and then pass them. So they are also pedestrians. So you need to be careful. Kids on skateboards, pedestrians, kids on rollerblades, pedestrians, kids on scooters, people on scooters, pedestrians. All of those are important. Something that people do not think about. Have a client who was in her trunk retrieving something when a car backed into her car and caused her to fall over. Pedestrian. I've had, of course, people jump the curb. I've had pedestrians in a crosswalk. They had the right of way. The person just didn't see them. Tried to beat the light. Those kind of situations. So I just had someone call me the other day, said they bent down to get their keys in the parking lot, and the other lady hit her with her car. And unfortunately, she didn't get any insurance information. So that is important to add on to the pedestrian injuries, that even though you're a pedestrian, you still need to get that car information from that person. You need to call the police. All of that stuff still applies, even though you were a pedestrian. These pedestrian injuries, they're serious. Again, as we talked about on another Facebook Live, there is no protection. You know, slip and falls, no protection. It's the same thing for you as a pedestrian. So you're outside a vehicle at any point in time, it makes you very sensitive, right? Very fragile, in situations where another piece of machine, because that's what it is, right, comes in contact with your body. And so you as a driver don't want to be hitting people with your car.
Oh,
And you as
God.
a pedestrian do not want to be hit with your car. So make sure that you are staying aware. And I mean, most people don't even think about getting hit in a Kroger parking lot by another
Right.
vehicle. But people, they get backed into it. It happens a lot more than, because that's not something that come on the jingles, right? That's not something that gets talked about, but it does happen, and it happens a lot. And so it's important that we stay aware as drivers and as equally aware as pedestrians.
And you really got to treat it like you treat your children if you have children. You know, like when you stop and like you got to make eye contact with the drivers before you proceed to cross the street. Like, are they slowing down? Are they not? Um, are they paying attention? A lot of people, when they like get in their car, what they do, they look at their phone, but
Yep.
they go ahead and pop in reverse. Now they're reversing while they're looking at their phone. They may not see you, so stand back. You get out of the way if you can, because drivers are distracted. And honestly, in this political culture that we're in, you never know someone's intentions. I find that sometimes, I'm a person that'll let you cross the street. Okay. Like if I'm coming through the light and you about to cross, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna let you cross. I'm gonna need you to cross expeditiously. Don't be walking slow, walk quick. But I'm gonna let you cross. Now, there's some people who like you've already stepped down into the street. They could easily stop. You make eye contact
Hmm.
and they keep rolling.
Yeah.
And so you have to say, okay, okay, yeah, that's how y'all gonna act today. All right, let me
Yeah.
curb. But some people are just being that way. So you just can never know the intention or the attitude of somebody or their distraction, what they got going on. So
Right.
look out for yourself when it
And
comes to.
don't think, and I think this is a culture thing. It's just not true because you're the pedestrian, you had the right of way. That's just not true. So
Mhm.
don't take that attitude like, hey, I'm the pedestrian, you just need to stop. That's just not true. And I have a case, well, I don't have it anymore. But there was a case that I once, so let me say I was not the lawyer on the case, I was the witness in the case. Reenactment. I was an actress. And what happened was that the young girl was crossing the street out on Jonesboro Road. She had been at a restaurant or bar or something, and she lived on the other side. And anybody that knows that street, is like four lanes of traffic on both sides. And had she walked up, she could have crossed over, but she cut across. And a guy came down and he hit her, and he ultimately killed her. And one of the things was getting down the distance. Could he really see her? Um, what kind of clothing she had on. I mean, there were just so many facts that went into that case. And I mean, yes, she definitely should have just gone down to the crosswalk and crossed. But was he speeding? And again, I was only an actress in that case. It wasn't, going too well. At the point that I was no longer on it. But I mean, there were so many different factors. It wasn't just as simple as she got hit and
Mhm.
he was responsible. His insurance company was fighting that. So
Yeah.
don't think because you are a pedestrian that you just 100% have the right of way, because you don't. I mean, and she was just going, she was walking home, you know. So, you know, always take the mindset, like Attorney Farrell said, that person may not see you.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, and number two, cross if you can in a crosswalk, and three, cross when it's green.
And I do want to say this too, because you know we actually lost one of our family law clients earlier this year in a pedestrian accident. His car had broken down on the side of the road on the highway, and he was trying to walk to the next exit to presumably go to the gas station or get help. And it was late, and he ended up being hit because he left his car. Um, don't do that. Just call for help. You know, if it's like late at night, just stay in your car. I feel like you're safer in your car, even though a collision with a car that's not moving is terrible. But a collision with a human body is even worse. So
Yeah,
in that scenario, your car breaks down, even if it's broad daylight. I don't want y'all walking on the side of the highway. Like, try to see if you can have a friend come pick you up or bring you the gas or AAA or whatever needs to be done because sometimes people are so busy looking at you on the side of the road, they actually veer right into you.
they do.
That's exactly what happens. It's like, oh, I saw him, but my hands, whatever. So just be careful out there if you find yourself in that scenario or somebody you know. Make sure you just look us up online or give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to assist you with that. And of course, if that happens, take the advice from all our other videos.
Yeah.
Get treatment immediately, document everything, take pictures, notate where you were, the type of vehicle, exchange, get the information and all that. Do everything that we've been telling you in all the other videos if that happens. But you guys be safe out there, and we'll see you next week. Do a wave.